Hello, Amazing Amphros here, and this is my The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past Minimalist run. In this run, I am going to be avoiding as many items as I possibly can. That means I finish the game with only 13 heart containers, the starting magic meter and tunic, a level 2 sword, and not as many inventory items as you usually get. The most important items I'll be skipping will be all 4 bottles, though there's several other things I don't get as well, like the boomerang, the Bombos medallion, magic cape, cane of Burna, those sort of things. This makes the game a lot harder than it is normally, because all those nice things that I'm skipping really help out in the boss fights especially. But that's the whole point. Unfortunately, this first segment isn't really going to be all that different from a normal playthrough of this game. Being the very beginning of the game, I haven't had a chance to skip anything yet, and this first part of the game is pretty cut and dry. There's not much to be skipped. It goes without saying that I'm not going to be grabbing the boomerang here, but that doesn't really change how you play through Hyrule Castle very much. I will show some of the basic ways I approach combat moving around. Like right here you'll see, I don't go wandering off to the side to grab that 5 rupee chest because 5 rupees is simply not worth the time or the danger I'd have to expose myself to. You see I use spin attacks to kill enemies in single hits, so I don't have prolonged combat with them. And you see, I just walk around enemies that are otherwise not a threat to me. Because going over and killing them is not only a time waster, but I'm much more likely to get myself hit trying to attack something that I have no reason to fight than I am to just run around it. That being said, if something wanders in my way, I won't hesitate to slash it out. Now, there's really not a whole lot else to say for the remaining 5 minutes of this dungeon. It's pretty simple not to get hit. If you are having any difficulty at all, as you saw there, just throw in any of the generous pots at the enemies. And there's lots of geography you can duck around. So the not very clever guards will have trouble getting to you if you just run behind stuff. And of course, speaking of those spin attacks, an important little trick to remember is that if you spin attack an enemy near a wall, you can hit them twice, which lets your sword hit at 4 times the strength of a normal slash in effect. Basically, I just turned that level 1 fighter sword into the level 3 tempered sword, a sword I will never have. And here I come to the Ball and Chain Trooper. Some people list this guy as the first boss. It's pretty easy no matter how you fight him. I'm just going to fight him the cheese ball way that has no chance of losing, because I really don't feel like going through the effort of slashing him. And people who are speedrunners would probably lament that I got the lamp in Link's house instead of the faster lamp in Zelda's cell. But this is not a speedrun, and I would rather have 5 rupees for no time investment. Not that money's going to be a big concern here. In a minimalist run, we won't have bottles, so we can't buy potions. We aren't going to be buying anything like the red shield. So pretty much the only things we can spend money on are the various story things that require it, which is 710 rupees throughout the game. And escaping Zelda. Much faster than getting to her. I cut it kind of close there for no good reason, but that's fine. And I remain convinced that the left side of Hyrule Castle is safer than the right side. Just preference, though. course, showing my impressive sideways walk along the walls technique. Now, while you're moving through the sewers, there's actually a lot more to explore than there was in the main castle. If you feel the need to get a head start on your money count, going after all the rats can net you a lot of money. But, again, I'm going to be getting so much money from the big money chests that I don't really see any reason to worry about it. Though, taking the sewers more slowly can be a good way to play it safe. And of course, on the screens with the water, you can minimize your risk by staying in the water. For some reason, the sewer rats are afraid of water, which makes them pretty bad as sewer rats. And on this screen, you have the rat with the key. He's always on the left side. It's sometimes hard for me to keep track of which one he is. No harm in killing both. And I guess just to show that this is not going to be a no damage run, I take a kind of pointless hit in this room. Oh well, things happen. I've always found it funny how Zelda only explains to you how to pull a lever if you approach the right one, kind of giving away the random guess. And that pretty much wraps up the first dungeon. I'm going to be doing the next segment after this, which should be much more interesting. Sorry if I didn't have a whole lot to say.